What is going on, you guys? So I just did my maxes this week on squats, bench, and deadlift, and I want to go over them, analyze my form, and break down a couple issues I've been having. But before I get into that, I want to talk about my transfer over from RPS Federation to USAPL Federation in powerlifting. My first ever USAPL meet I'll be doing January 15th. I'll be in the 183 pound division. I don't know what that is in kilograms yet. I need to really start transferring over my weights to kilograms more, because I know that's what they use. But regardless, I'm really excited to do USAPL, and it's going to be a really great opportunity for me. There's a lot of competition in there. I believe, for a natural lifter, there's a lot more natural competition in that federation, which is the main reason I'm switching over, to get drug tested. So all you guys watching this can get reassured that I am a natural lifter. And also, there's some differences with RPS to USAPL. And one of the main differences that I've noticed for myself is the heels down on the bench press. When I was doing bench in RPS meets, my toes were down but my heels were up, and I believe this let me have more of an arch and planted my rear deltoids more into the actual bench, so I was able to have a stronger arch, which let my bench press be a little more smooth. So putting my heels down, I've had to alter my form and change some things around. For squats in RPS, Raw Modern, you were allowed to use knee wraps, where in Raw and USAPL, you're only allowed to use sleeves. So I believe knee wraps make maybe a 30 to 50 pound difference on your squat. So just going back to sleeves, my total might suffer a little bit, but I refuse to believe that, so I'm busting my ass now to really work on it and at least get a similar total, hopefully higher. I'm really working hard at it, so that's why I wanted to make this video, to also show you guys my maxes, show you some failures, and analyze some form corrections. And let's start with squats. So I went for my 5'10" squat. It is very hard to tell my depth. For a white light squat, a good squat in USAPL, the top of the hip has to break the top of the knee. And as you can see, the cell spotter and the guy spotting me, both the things are in the way to actually decipher if I'm doing that correctly. It went up so fast, I'm calling it a PR, the most I've ever done with sleeves, 5'10". But just for my own safety, I want to make sure I get a little lower when I do this again. And I think I got into my own head when I attempted the 520 pound squat. Because 5'10" went up really smooth, it went up fast, but when I went for the 520, I got a little into my head, because I rewatched that clip so many times, and I didn't know if I was going down low enough, so I really went down a little extra low on the 520 attempt, and I think I went down a little too fast and got stuck in the hole, and that's what kind of screwed me over. But even when I got into the hole, I felt a little, I've attempted 520 before, and I felt stronger coming up. I just think I got stuck and was not in a very strong position. What I've been working on for my squats specifically is pushing my knees out. That has made an incredible difference. My coach and me analyzed my form for past squats, like for going heavy, and we noticed a little bit of a tremble in my knees. They were shaking, and he literally just said, you have to literally push your knees out, and that is going to make an incredible difference in what you're actually doing. So I've been really applying that to my training, and that simple, small difference has made a significant impact on my strength levels, because I'm coming up much faster, and it's keeping me more sturdy from the transition in the middle. And also, another thing I'm working on is squatting a little higher. Yeah, I'm trying to squat a little higher. When I was doing RPS, all these powerlifters were coming up to me, and they were like, you're literally going ass to grass, bro. Like, what are you doing? And I was like, that's just how I've always trained. I've always gone extra low to ensure I'm hitting depth. But now I'm actually focusing on a little bit higher. I have to be careful I don't get into a bad habit of going too high, but squatting just a little bit higher, literally this much of a difference makes a significant impact on your squat. And since I'm really trying to get into a much more competitive federation and really go up in division, go up in like my level of competition, I really have to do everything I can, and it comes down to some technicalities also in my form. And let's go on to bench press. Now for the bench press, we have been working on my middle transfer. And what that means is when my chest kind of gives out a little bit and it transfers over to my shoulders and triceps to be more relied on. Muscle recruitment. And what I've been doing actually is skull crushers, but starting in a more back position. I'm going to link you guys to my full workout to increase your bench press, because that's exactly what I've been doing for my routine. And it's really, I've noticed that I'm coming up a lot faster to the middle position, but you can see now, I'm going to show you the clips, I failed twice, literally this close to lockout, and I was pissed. My pause was fine, and what I noticed after watching these clips is my chest was coming forward and the bar was caving into my chest. Like, it was literally sinking in. And I was losing all tightness in my chest. And I only noticed this after my third attempt when I was pissed off and went for a 380 pause PR.
Yeah, probably forgot to bring that from Saturday. How much you drank last night?
Come on! Push it! Yeah!
And I got it, but the pause wasn't long enough. So in training PR, but I'm not going to count it because it wouldn't have counted in competition. So that's something now I realized. My form, I was coming too far forward and I was losing all tightness in my chest. My rear delts were not planted into the bench firmly enough, and it was coming forward and the bar was sinking into my chest. And also, that's another thing they wouldn't call for a good bench, because I wasn't having control really at the bottom. Since it was sinking in, it would have been a much longer pause. And that's not optimal for what I'm trying to do. So that's something I really need to focus on and improve, because otherwise my form has been really good, but that one mistake is going to really hold me back. And I think that is due to my heels having to be on the ground, so I'm going to have to find a way to compensate for that. So I have really been working on sumo, and the reason I've been working on sumo is my coach believes that in the long run, that's much more of a mechanically strong position for my body type. But one of the things is, sumo has always been very weak for me. My hamstrings have never been as strong as they should be. And I'm not making an excuse, but that's exactly what now I'm going to be training on. I'm going to be forcing myself to really work on my hamstrings, my glutes, and just work on my whole posterior chain to really focus on increasing my sumo deadlift, because he really does believe in the long run my sumo is going to be much stronger. Because now I'm going to show you my 570-pound deadlift conventional attempt. And I'm very unfortunate to say that it's been at a standstill for a while. My last PR is 565, and I really have been struggling to get my deadlift up. I don't think I've ever established a form that I would say I really feel comfortable with. And that's just something I really need to really develop, because if I'm not comfortable with a form, that means I'm changing it a little bit every time, so I'm not able to actually work on what's not like being optimal for my positioning. And so that's my deadlift. You can see this is the first time I ever got it off the ground. I've always been really good at getting the conventional pulls off the ground, but locking out has always been an issue. A lot due to upper back rounding, which I've really been working on to build my rear delts to compensate for my chest development. But I really want to make this video, guys, to show you where I'm at, where I'm struggling, and some of the points that I really need to work on. Also, just to go back to the bench press, you might have noticed I've been doing suicide grip. I find that's a much stronger position for my elbows to push through with my triceps. And I really hope you guys liked this video. This was my week, my max out week, and I hope some of these mechanical issues that I've described for myself, maybe if you're experiencing them, you'll start to notice them too. And I hope you guys liked the video. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, and make sure you comment anything you have to tell me, guys. Peace.
Beta-alanine basically is a building block of carnosine, which is what gives you that burning, tingling sensation during your workouts when you take your pre-workout, and also helps delay the buildup of lactic acid in your muscles.